Hi Moglets! Today we're going over the new artifact and weapons coming soon. I was originally just planning on making this a short, but once I saw the healing set, I was like, no, I'm just gonna make this a short normal video, I guess. Anyway, since they're not actually in the game yet, just gonna have to pull up my photos here. Starting with Virdict, Navia's signature weapon. We have very high base attack at 674 and 22 crit rate. I mean, yeah, pretty standard for a weapon. I generally prefer crit damage on weapons because there's not a real limit for crit damage, unlike crit rate, where once you have 100%, it's literally useless. But that is pretty nitpicky, even with like the 36% crit rate set. I'm pretty sure Navia is like one of the only Fontaine characters that don't reduce her own HP, although I'm not even totally sure about that because she's not here yet and I didn't look into her kit yet. But they didn't mention anything about that in the special program, so I'm assuming that's true. So outside of having Freena in your team, she couldn't really take advantage of the big crit rate set anyway. But yeah, looking at the passive, increase attack by 20%, it's obvious she's an attack scaler also because of the high base attack. And it is very specific for her. She does appear to be an elemental skill DPS because the rest of the passive increases elemental skill damage by 18% up to 2 stacks. And you get these stacks by picking up the crystallized shards that form with Geo plus any other main element. Overall, it does sound good for her in particular. We'll explore other potential use cases in the weapon video, but spoiler alert, it doesn't, I don't feel like there's going to be many that can actually use this well. Even like Ito, the huge base attack and the attack increase on the passive is kind of wasted on him, but we'll see. Moving on to Ultimate Overlord's Mega Magic Sword. This is the event weapon coming, which we should be able to get free R5 as we typically do. Energy recharge and a pretty high base attack for a 4-star actually at 565. 12% attack boost there, so obviously going to be good for any attack scalers. The passive is funny. It says, "That's not all." Okay, that's funny. The support from all Melusines you've helped in Marusia Village, I'm probably butchering everything here, but whatever, fills you with strength. Based on the number of them you've helped, your attack is increased by up to an additional 12%. So this is a passive that doesn't have any like trigger requirements, except of course, I guess, helping the Melusines, which after you do so will be a permanent buff. And at R5, typically things double, so it'd be a 48% attack increase. That's actually pretty big for it being a constant 48% attack increase. But I mean, yeah, it's a Claymore. I don't generally care about Claymores too much. I mean, maybe like Sayu. I know her healing scales with attack and energy recharge she could always use. But yeah, it sounds pretty solid in general. Moving on to artifacts now, we got Nighttime Whispers in the Echoing Woods. This is a Geo set, probably only for Navia, I can imagine. I'm honestly surprised the 2-piece is attack percent instead of just Geo damage bonus, because the 4-piece set is 20% Geo damage bonus then. Maybe it would have, I don't know, been too much Geo damage bonus then, but yeah. While under a shield granted by the crystallized reaction, the above effect will be increased by 150%, and its additional increase disappears 1 second after that shield is lost. So you need to have a crystallized shield, and of course with Navia in your team, you're probably gonna have it most of the time. I mean, the whole point of Navia is to do a bunch of crystallize. But yeah, if 20% Geo damage bonus is increased by 150%, that would get you 50% Geo damage bonus, which is more than an entire goblet. So, I mean, it's a pretty solid 4-piece set, like specifically for Navia, I guess. I think she'd be pretty good in Golden Troop as well, since she does seem to focus a lot on skill damage, though I don't think she can do her skill off field. That part of it would be wasted. We also got Song of Days Past. This is the one, as you can see, with a lot of text. I guess it is a little similar to Clam set. There is a bit of math to break down here, but the 2-piece set is healing bonus. Very typical for like a healer set. And I'm just gonna read the 4-piece set and then we'll dig into it a little bit. So it says, when the equipping character heals a party member, the yearning effect will be created for 6 seconds, which records the total amount of healing provided, including overflow healing. When the duration expires, the yearning effect will be transformed into the Waves of Days Past effect. When your active party member hits an opponent with literally anything, the damage dealt will be increased by 8% of the total healing amount recorded by the yearning effect. The Waves of Days Past effect is removed after it has taken effect 5 times or after 10 seconds. A single instance of the yearning effect can record up to 15,000 healing, and only a single instance can exist at once, but it can record the healing for multiple equipping characters. Equipping characters on standby can still trigger this effect. How I understand this, if we take like Baiju for example and do his elemental skill, for reference, his elemental skill heals the entire party by like 10+K. So should easily be enough to hit that 15K mark. I mean, because the yearning effect lasts 6 seconds after you heal, even not insane healers or healers that heal slowly over time can still probably hit this 15k relatively easily. The question is, what does that actually mean? Assuming you're equipping this on a character that will consistently max out that 15,000, you're getting an extra 1200 damage for 5 hits, or 6,000 damage total. We'll test this at one point when the patch drops, if this is just a flat 1200 damage increase, or if it comes before certain multipliers. In my opinion, it would kind of have to come before multipliers, so like an extra 1200 base damage that is then multiplied by crit damage and element damage bonus and stuff. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of poop. I mean, like, what is an extra 6,000 damage over the course of 5 separate hits? You know, it's like, Of course, if this damage comes before all the multipliers, an extra 6,000 damage can go a long way. I mean, even the clam set on a good healer can hit for like 25, 30k as a separate instance of damage. So we're pretty much just gonna have to wait and see for that. And while that information may be available somewhere, I'm quite sure it would count as a leak at this point in the game, so I'm not going to dive into it. But yeah, I guess that's it. In terms of the actual new artifact domain we're getting for these two new sets, I am most likely not going to run it very much. I just see too much value still in the Hunter / Golden Troop set that I'd much rather spend my resin there. Of course, after focusing on talents of all my important characters first. Honestly, not even fully sure if I'm gonna run it for Navia herself right now. But yeah, let me know what you think about the new gear in the comments down below. Leaving a like or subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.